You're about to embark on a journey, not through space, nor through time, but into the deepest recesses of a man's mind. Our next passenger is Mr. Robert Wilson, an ordinary man with a not-so-ordinary past, boarding an aircraft bound for his home, his wife, and his peace of mind. But on this flight, cruising at 20,000 feet, sanity is the cost of admission, and reality is a flimsy seatbelt. Fasten yours tightly. You are about to experience turbulence, not from weather, but from fear itself. Tonight's destination is the Twilight Zone. The rain was relentless. Cold rivulets traced down the thick, scratched window of the bowing 7-7 like tears on skin. Inside, the cabin lights flickered briefly before stabilizing. The engine's hum was steady, a white noise that masked the tension Robert Wilson felt. Creeping up his spine, he sat in seat 5A, his wife Julia beside him. Leafing through a magazine she wasn't really reading, her eyes flicked to him now and then. Watching his hand tremble slightly as he reached for the in-flight drink he hadn't touched. "Bob," she said gently, "you're going to be fine." He forced a smile. "I know." Robert Wilson was not. A man easily shaken, tall, well-groomed, and articulate. He had once prided himself on logic and control. But 6 months ago, he had suffered what doctors termed a nervous breakdown during a flight not unlike this one. He had seen something on the wing, a hallucination, they said, a delusion, a grotesque thing. He had screamed, tried to warn the crew, and eventually had to be sedated. It had cost him his career, his confidence, and nearly his marriage. But Julia had stayed, and now, released from the hospital, he was flying again, part therapy, part test. Prove to himself and everyone else that the nightmare was just that, a nightmare. The plane ascended steadily. Clouds swallowed them whole as the cabin pressure changed, and heads leaned back into seats. Robert looked out the window. At first he saw nothing, just mist and the faint suggestion of stars above. He closed his eyes. He needed sleep, rest. But when he opened them again, there it was, at the edge of the wing. A figure, no, a thing, humanoid, hunched, its skin a pallid gray-green, wet with rain. It clutched the wing with clawed hands, hairless. Its mouth curled back in a sneer, revealing jagged teeth. And then, as though sensing him, it turned and looked directly at him. Robert jerked back in his seat. "Julia," he hissed, grasping her arm. She looked at him, startled. "What, there's something on the wing?" "Bob, I saw it just now. It's out there again." She leaned across him to look. "Nothing. Bob, there's nothing. Just clouds." No, it was there. Staring at me, he pressed the call button. A flight attendant approached, chipper and composed. "Can I help you, sir? I need to speak to the captain. There's something on the wing. It might be AA. What, he hesitated. Gremlin, that's what he had called it before. The doctor had used the word projection. Robert had spent weeks trying to believe that, but now something dangerous, he said instead. The attendant smiled politely, but her eyes flicked quickly to Julia. "I'll notify the crew," she said, and left. Minutes passed. Kept his gaze fixed on the wing, and then it came back. This time it was moving, tugging at a panel near the engine. The bolts. Robert could see them shaking loose under its clawed fingers. No, it's trying to destroy the plane. He leaped from his seat. A passenger a few rows back stirred. Julia grabbed his arm. "Bob, please sit down. You're scaring people." "Telling you it's going to kill us all." 2 flight attendants rushed forward. One radioed the cockpit. Robert was shaking. "I'm not crazy. I'm not. It's trying to kill us." The co-pilot arrived. A large man in a sharp uniform, calm but firm. "Mr. Wilson, please take your seat. We've been informed about your condition. I'm not imagining it if you don't comply. We'll be forced to restrain you." Julia took his hand. "Bob, for me, please," sat, shaking, silent, and watched as the gremlin tore another bolt loose. He needed proof, evidence, something to show the others. When Julia fell asleep, quietly reached for her purse, pulling out the small Polaroid camera. She kept for vacations. He waited. The creature returned. staring at him, gloating. He took the shot. Flash, the creature snarled and vanished. In a streak of motion, the flash had startled it, maybe hurt it. But he had the picture. He waited, heart pounding as the photo developed. But when he looked, it was blank, white haze. Suddenly, turbulence shook the plane. A scream, a jolt. Engine 1 is reading unstable. The co-pilot announced moments later. The captain's voice came over the intercom, calm but tight. "Ladies and gentlemen, we've experienced a minor mechanical issue. Nothing to worry about. Please remain seated." Robert knew better. The creature had damaged the engine. He turned to Julia. "If I don't do something, we're going to crash." "What? Are you talking about I need to get outside? Stop it. There's only one way." He unfastened his belt. "Move to the emergency exit." An alarm rang. People screamed. The attendants ran forward, but he had already pulled the handle. A burst of air. Pressure. The door flung open. Robert grasped the edge, and for a moment he saw the creature again, inches away. Smiling, he aimed the flare gun he had stolen from the emergency kit and fired. The creature wailed, flames dancing over its face. It vanished into the storm, then darkness. Robert Wilson awoke in a hospital bed. Julia beside him, police nearby. "He saved us," the captain would later say. The engine had been tampered with. Somehow he knew. The airline called it a miracle. But when the maintenance crew reviewed the engine, they found claw marks. Portrait of a man who finally conquered his greatest fear, only to find that fear was real. Robert Wilson faced the unimaginable and did what no one else could. The question remains, what truly makes a man insane? Seeing monsters in the dark, or seeing the truth no one else dares to? Mr. Wilson's seat remains empty now, his journey complete. But his final stop was not home. It was the Twilight Zone.